after Mayor Pete. He's now the front runner in Iowa. There's got to be somebody on that debate stage who attacks him. I don't really know what they attack him on because he doesn't have a voting record.
You're too nice.
You know,
Pete Buttigieg appears to be using his corporate and billionaire-funded campaign to buy his way to the top in a poll in Iowa. Now, it also doesn't hurt that media coverage has been fawning over him, but we'll get to that in a minute. First, I want to show you this here. Between November 5th and 11th, he spent $870,000 in television ads, which then led to this result in a CNN Des Moines Register Iowa poll conducted between the 8th and 13th, putting Pete Buttigieg at the top with 25%, up 16 points from September. Now, that's crazy. But this is one poll. I'm going to show you a very different poll near the end of this video. But the fact that Buttigieg is in first in any poll in Iowa or anywhere is nuts. And it's largely because of his big donor-backed campaign, in addition to how the media loves him. So these two things converge, as I'm going to show you. So let me read this piece here, and you're going to understand what I'm getting to here. So this is from Yahoo News. Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg's husband will head out on a 3-day European tour to raise money for the campaign next week. This is back in October, according to NBC. Under U.S. campaign finance law, campaigns cannot raise money from foreign nationals but can accept donations from American citizens or green card holders abroad. Invitations reviewed by NBC are requiring potential donors to bring a copy of their passport or green card in order to be admitted. Chasten Buttigieg plans to make stops in London, Paris, Geneva at events hosted by Buttigieg allies, including Hollywood screenwriters, corporate executives, and former Obama administration employees. Both events in London are being co-hosted by Kevin McKellen, the chairman of Global Distribution and International at NBC Universal, who hosted a fundraiser in July for Buttigieg at his Los Angeles home with husband Brian Curran and LGBT celebrities Ellen DeGeneres and Sean Hayes. All right. This top executive at NBC Universal, which, if you didn't know, MSNBC is a part of. So this top executive at NBC Universal is holding multiple fundraisers for Pete Buttigieg. So it shouldn't be any surprise why or how this cable news network continually gives him praise. Let me just show you a recent example. So while I was doing research for this video, I was going to focus mostly on the Iowa poll. I came across this video from today from MSNBC covering Pete Buttigieg.
This guy is in good shape, and I'm not so sure it's going to be easy for them to attack Pete the way they attacked Elizabeth.
Mayor Pete, he's now the front runner in Iowa. There's got to be somebody on that debate stage who attacks him. I don't really know what they attack him on because he doesn't have a voting record.
You're too nice.
You know,
So my warning to any Democrats that are going to attack Mayor Pete, you've attacked other people on the stage that aren't intellectually nimble. He's intellectually nimble, so you better prepare your attack, because I promise he will turn it back around on you. He's different than the others. Mm-hmm. He is a really skilled political athlete.
Okay. That's just a sample. I mean, the quote there from Mika Brzezinski, oh, what are you going to attack him on? He's too nice? Can you imagine them having this fawning coverage about Bernie Sanders? Like, clearly, Pete Buttigieg is working in the best interests of these massive corporations and wealthy individuals. This is the kind of coverage you get if you're a candidate that has a platform that is kind to the millionaires like these hosts on television. So, as Mika says here, though, he's too nice. There's nothing to attack him on. What would you possibly attack Pete Buttigieg on? He's too nice? Well, how about he's corrupted by the most billionaire donors out of any candidate in the race at 23? And that was a count from back in the summer, so it's a lot more now. Or how about the fact that documents show police used Buttigieg donors to get him to fire a black police chief? Or how about the fact that Buttigieg denounced for spouting pack of lies about Medicare for all while swimming in insurance cash? And indeed he is. Pharmaceutical, health insurance, and hospital industry donors have flocked to Mayor Pete all year. As of mid-2019, he was second only to Donald Trump in overall campaign cash from donors in the health sector. Among Democratic candidates, he was second to former Vice President Joe Biden in terms of pharmaceutical and health insurance donations. A Sledge review of Buttigieg's recent third quarter campaign finance report shows that as he rails against Medicare for all, executives and other managers in the health sector have kept the money flowing. But really, what is there to attack him on? And that's just a sampling. I mean, Pete Buttigieg is just a total fraud. His entire platform is a lie. His idea of Medicare for those who want it, I completely exposed that pack of BS in a recent video. Go watch that video. He is so completely dishonest about what his platform actually is, who he actually stands up for, and he's one of these typical politicians. I mean, he has a line for everyone. So if you're not paying actual close attention, and you don't actually look into the details of who Pete Buttigieg is and what he represents, you may be fooled by him. But when you begin to unravel his policies, what he's actually saying, who he is, who he represents, it becomes clear Pete Buttigieg is a horrible candidate who does not stand up for the average person. But he's also, on top of everything else, he's also trying to buy support in South Carolina as well. So he bought support up to the top there in that one, or for that one Iowa poll. He's also planning a big ad buy in South Carolina as well. So this from CNBC. Pete Buttigieg makes big South Carolina ad buy as campaign seeks elusive black support. And I have a previous video. I mean, it's not even just about the ad buy. Everyone has ad buys. It's where the money's coming from to make those ad buys. But on top of that, I have a video recently over the weekend where I covered a incredibly shameful way Pete Buttigieg is trying to grow support in South Carolina. You cannot miss that story. Click the link above. You have to watch that story. You have to see what the campaign did to try and get support in South Carolina. So let me just end here on, as I said, a poll's a poll. So a different poll in Iowa shows a much different race. This is a more recent poll from CBS News YouGov here, showing that Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden tied for first at 22% in Iowa, with Buttigieg at 21 and Elizabeth Warren at 18. So pretty much a four-way race here, according to this poll in the CBS poll in Iowa. So still, though, Pete Buttigieg should not be at 21% support in Iowa. This is completely manufactured. This candidate is completely manufactured. His support comes from corporate interests, comes from billionaires, and fawning media coverage. You put that all together, you begin to develop a candidate that is growing support from those individuals that watch cable news all day. So, I mean, just judging off that MSNBC clip from Morning Joe, if that's the kind of coverage Pete Buttigieg gets, and from what I've seen, that is the kind of coverage that he gets, it's no wonder he's growing in support out of nowhere. It's being manufactured by the media and by the money behind him. So you have to look into these candidates. I know, look, most of my followers already know this about Pete Buttigieg, but it's important to share this with people in your family, your friends and family, people that may support Pete Buttigieg and don't realize how much of a phony this guy is. I mean, from his ruse in South Carolina to try and grow support, to his massive ad buys in Iowa and South Carolina that are backed by corporate donors and billionaires, to the fawning media coverage that can't find anything wrong with him. I mean, it's obvious this man is manufactured, and judging by who supports him, it's clear Buttigieg does not stand up for the average American.